Welcome back to JF Coins, the channel where we talk about rare coins, big money finds, and how your change could be worth a fortune. Today's episode is all about a simple yet iconic coin that most people overlook, the 1978 Roosevelt dime. That's right, this little 10-cent piece could be hiding a fortune. We are going to dive deep into its origins, its fascinating history, and yes, how a 1978 dime could be worth as much as $44 million. You heard that right, $44 million. So stick around because you don't want to miss this incredible story. First, let's talk about the man behind the coin, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. The Roosevelt dime was first issued in 1946, just 1 year after his death. Roosevelt was not only a beloved president who led the United States through the Great Depression and World War II, but also a major advocate for the fight against polio, a disease that affected him personally. To honor his legacy and leadership, the U.S. Mint decided to replace the Mercury dime with a new design featuring his portrait. And thus the Roosevelt dime was born. Now fast forward to 1978. This year marked over 3 decades of the Roosevelt dime in circulation. It was business as usual for the U.S. Mint, or so it seemed. Millions of dimes were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints and some at the San Francisco Mint as proof coins. The Philadelphia Mint didn't use a mint mark in those days, so if your 1978 dime doesn't have a little D or S under the date, it came from Philly. So how many of these dimes were made in total, you may ask? Well, get this, over 695 million were struck at Philadelphia, over 563 million at Denver, and about 3.1 million proof coins at San Francisco. That's a lot of dimes. So you might be thinking, how can one possibly be worth millions? Well, this is where it gets exciting. See, most of these coins are only worth face value, 10 cents. But not all of them. Some 1978 Roosevelt dimes have incredibly rare errors or are in such pristine condition that collectors are willing to pay huge amounts for them. But there's one coin that made headlines and has become a legendary mystery in the coin collecting world, a 1978 Roosevelt dime that is rumored to have sold for a jaw-dropping $44 million. Let's get into why this happened and what makes that particular coin so special. First, we have to talk about coin errors. Some of the most valuable coins in the world were never meant to be that way. It's the mistakes that make them rare. Double dies, off-center strikes, coins struck on the wrong planchet, these kinds of mint errors can turn an ordinary coin into a treasure. And in the case of the 1978 Roosevelt dime, there are stories of a rare prototype error, a coin that was never supposed to leave the mint. Only a few were ever made, and somehow one made its way into the public. The story goes like this. In 1978, the mint experimented with a new composition. It was a test run for a future coin, possibly one with silver content or an experimental metal alloy never used in dimes before or after. The test dime had a slightly different weight, a shinier surface, and a sharper design. It wasn't meant to circulate, but one was accidentally released. That coin is what collectors now believe to be the $44 million dime. Why is it worth so much? For one thing, it is unique, one of a kind. In coin collecting, rarity is king. Combine that with the fact that this dime has historical significance and perfect mint condition, and you have a recipe for an astronomical price tag. Some say it was bought in a private auction, others believe it was part of a private collection before being resold at a premium. Regardless, its rumored sale price sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. Now you're probably wondering, how do I know if my 1978 Roosevelt dime is valuable? Great question. Here's what you need to look for. First, check for any mint marks. If you see an S, that means it's a proof coin and could already be worth a few dollars, especially if it's in perfect condition. Look at the condition of the coin. If it looks brand new with no scratches, or where it might be in mint state condition, those can be worth anywhere from a few dollars to several hundred depending on the grade. Next, look for errors. Use a magnifying glass and pay attention to details. Check for any doubling in the letters or numbers. Look at the edge. Is it perfectly round? Is it thicker than normal? Is it struck off center? All of these could mean your dime is special. You can also weigh your coin. A regular clad 1978 dime should weigh about 2.27 grams. If it's heavier or lighter, it could have been struck on a different planchet, and if you think you found something truly rare, here's what to do next. Don't try to clean the coin, that can lower its value. Store it safely in a coin holder or flip. Then take it to a professional coin dealer or have it graded by a company like PCGS or NGC. They'll be able to tell you if you've got something special on your hands. Remember, just because millions were made doesn't mean they're all the same. Even the tiniest error can make a huge difference in value. And in the case of the 1978 Roosevelt dime, one rare coin turned an ordinary 10-cent piece into a multi-million-dollar legend. And let's not forget the market itself. Rare coins have become more valuable over time as more people get into collecting and investing. The 1978 Roosevelt dime is no exception. Its value has climbed over the years, especially for high-grade and error examples. What was once pocket change is now a potential goldmine, so the next time you're digging through your change jar or counting coins from your laundry, remember that one little dime could be your ticket to a fortune. Check the date, check the mint mark, and most of all, check for those rare signs that you might be holding something extraordinary. And that's it for today's video. If you found this story fascinating, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more amazing coin facts and hidden treasures. Leave a comment below if you've ever come across a rare coin, or if you're going to start checking your change from now on. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the next person to discover $1 million coin. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting, coin collectors. Would you like me to turn this into a PDF or add background music and visual suggestions for a full YouTube production? Welcome back to JF, the channel where we talk all things coins, collectibles, treasures, and rare finds that might just be sitting in your pocket change right now. If you're new here, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of our weekly videos where we reveal the hidden value in ordinary coins. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about dimes in the world of numismatics, a coin that has stunned collectors and historians alike. That's right, we're talking about the 1992 D Roosevelt dime, minted in Denver, a coin that may appear completely average on the surface but has shocked the market with whispers and even claims of it being worth an incredible $38 million. That's right, $38 million. Now, before you rush to check your pocket change or your old coin jar from the back of the closet, let's talk about why this coin is creating such a buzz. What makes a small 10-cent coin from the 1990s so valuable? Why are collectors going absolutely wild for it? And is it true that one rare version of this coin fetched a market value of $38 million? Let's go back to the beginning. The Roosevelt dime has been in circulation since 1946, when it was introduced to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt following his death in 1945. The coin replaced the winged Liberty Head dime, also known as the Mercury dime. Roosevelt was chosen due to his role in founding the March of Dimes, an organization dedicated to fighting polio, a disease he himself struggled with. Since 1946, the Roosevelt dime has featured his left-facing profile on the obverse with the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," the year of mintage and the mint mark if present. The reverse of the coin has stayed relatively unchanged, showing a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength respectively. Now let's fast forward to the year 1992. By that point, the Roosevelt dime had been in circulation for over 45 years. It was still being struck in large numbers at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. The 1992 D Roosevelt dime specifically was minted in Denver, and over 500 million were struck that year. Yes, you heard that right, over $500 million. So how could any single one of these coins be worth more than the cost of a Lamborghini, or even more than a mansion in Beverly Hills? The answer lies in errors, rarities, and in the speculative collector's market, where certain coins skyrocket in value due to unique characteristics. The $38 million valuation is often associated with either a rumored error coin or a legendary piece that may have had a production anomaly so unique and unprecedented that it drove collectors to place astronomical value on it. Let's talk about what makes a 1992 D Roosevelt dime special. First, we need to understand that coins can have errors during production at the mint. These can include double dies, off-center strikes, missing clad layers, wrong planchets, transitional errors, and more. Some collectors have speculated that there exists a 1992 D Roosevelt dime with a double die obverse that has such a dramatic doubling effect on the word liberty and the date 1992 that it is unmistakable. While a confirmed example of this exact error has yet to be authenticated by major grading services, the rumor of its existence persists and has led to extensive searches. Another potential source of extreme value in a 1992 D dime is a transitional error where a coin is struck on a planchet meant for a different year or different denomination. Imagine a 1992 D dime accidentally struck on a silver planchet intended for older coins, or perhaps even on a foreign coin blank. These types of mistakes are rare but not impossible, and when discovered they create headlines. Combine that with immaculate condition and third-party grading and you've got yourself a 6 or even 7-figure coin. Let's talk about grading. For a coin to be worth big money, especially millions of dollars, it must be in top condition. This means we're talking about coins graded MS70 or Proof 70 by grading companies like PCGS or NGC. MS stands for mint state, and a grade of 70 indicates a coin that is flawless even under magnification. Combine a rare error with a perfect grade and you have the formula for an auction record breaker. Now what about that $38 million price tag? Let's be real here. No Roosevelt dime has publicly sold for $38 million to date. That's a number more in line with ultra-rare coins like the 1933 Double Eagle or the 1794 Flowing Hair Dollar. However, some online sources and collectors claim that there may be a 1992 D Roosevelt dime with unknown features, perhaps a one-of-a-kind error or a prototype piece that was never meant to leave the mint, which has been valued or offered at that amount in private circles. While these claims have yet to be fully verified by experts or shown at auction, the legend continues to grow. Let's break down the potential values of 1992 D Roosevelt dimes in today's market. Regular circulation 1992 D dime in worn condition is worth just face value, that's 10 cents. Uncirculated example can be worth $1 or $2. Mint state example graded MS65 might fetch $10 to $15. MS68 graded dime with full torch bands and no flaws might go for $200 to $400. Rare error dime with a double die or metal strike could command $1,000 or more, and a one-of-a-kind ultra-rare coin with extreme provenance might just hit millions if marketed correctly. The bottom line here is simple. While most 1992 D Roosevelt dimes are extremely common and worth no more than a few cents, there are exceptions that make collectors go wild. Whether it's due to a rare minting error, unusual die variety, or perhaps just the mystery and mythology surrounding a legendary example, it's always worth checking your pocket change. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. So what should you do if you think you have a special 1992 D Roosevelt dime? Examine the coin closely with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look for doubling, especially on the date. The words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." Check the edges for signs of missing clad layers. Weigh the coin to see if it matches the standard dime weight of 2.27 grams. Take high-quality photos and compare with known mint error examples online. Submit your coin to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Even if you don't strike it rich, learning about the history and intricacies of coins is a rewarding and educational hobby. And who knows, maybe you're sitting on a piece of numismatic history without even knowing it. That wraps up today's deep dive into the 1992 D Roosevelt dime and the mystery surrounding its rumored multi-million-dollar value. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments what rare coins you found in your change. And remember to keep checking your coins. Treasure is out there. Until next time, this is Your Name, signing off. Keep collecting, stay curious, and happy hunting. Would you like me to format it for a teleprompter or add captions and thumbnail ideas too? Welcome back to the channel, my fellow coin enthusiasts and curious treasure hunters. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because today we're going deep into the fascinating world of a seemingly ordinary coin that could secretly be worth an extraordinary fortune. Yes, we're talking about the legendary 1995 P Roosevelt dime. Now I know what you're thinking, it's just a dime, right? 10 cents, a tiny piece of change you probably walk past on the street or find in your car's cup holder. But what if I told you that one specific version of this dime is estimated to be worth as much as $37 million? That's right, $37 million. And no, this is not a joke or an exaggeration. We're going to break down exactly why this coin is so rare, how it came to be, what specific features to look for, and how you might be holding a piece of modern American history in your pocket without even knowing it. So buckle up, because this is going to be an incredible journey through The hidden world of coin collecting. Let's begin with some background. The 1995 Roosevelt dime was minted in Philadelphia as indicated by the small p mint mark on the front of the coin just above the date. This coin is part of the Roosevelt dime series, which started back in 1946 after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had led the United States through the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt was also a major advocate for the March of Dimes, an organization dedicated to fighting polio, which he himself battled throughout his life. That's why his profile appears on the dime, a tribute to both his leadership and his personal struggle. Now back to 1995. That year millions of dimes were minted in Philadelphia, and at first glance the 1995 P. Roosevelt dime appears to be just another ordinary piece of change, but coin collectors and experts know that a very small number of these dimes were struck with a rare minting error or feature that makes them incredibly valuable. You see, in the minting process sometimes small mistakes happen. A die might be cracked, a planchet might be misaligned, a double die might be used, or an off-center strike might occur. In most cases these errors are minor and only worth a few dollars at most, but every now and then something truly unique occurs, a one-of-a-kind error or a perfect storm of features that makes a coin exceptionally rare and incredibly valuable. In the case of the 1995 P. Roosevelt dime, there are a few key things collectors are looking for. Number 1 is the double die obverse. This means that during the minting process the die used to stamp the front of the coin was engraved incorrectly, causing a doubling effect, especially visible in the letters of Liberty and the words I and God We Trust. If you look closely you might see a faint shadow or doubling of the text, which is a clear sign that your dime is not ordinary. Number 2 is the full band detail on the reverse side of the coin. This refers to the horizontal lines on the torch between the olive branch and the oak branch. A fully struck Roosevelt dime will show clear and complete horizontal bands, which indicates a strong strike from fresh dies. Coins with these full bands in perfect condition are significantly more valuable, especially if they also include other rare features. Now let's talk about condition. The value of any coin is heavily influenced by its condition or grade. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with 70 being a perfect coin with no visible flaws under magnification. A 1995 P. Roosevelt dime in circulated condition might be worth just face value, but an uncirculated example, especially one with a known error like the double die or off-center strike, could be worth hundreds or even thousands. And if you have a perfect mint state 70 version with full bands from a known rare die variety, that's where the value starts skyrocketing. Now you might be wondering, how on earth does this dime get to be worth $37 million? And here's where the story gets even more fascinating. You see, coin values are not just about metal content or age, they're also about rarity, historical significance, collector demand, and unique features. There are stories of ultra-rare coins going for insane prices at private auctions and estate sales, especially when there's a mystery or legend attached to them. In one such case, a 1995 P. Roosevelt dime with an extremely rare combination of a double die obverse, a full band reverse, and flawless mint condition was said to be sold in a private deal for an eye-watering $37 million. That's right, $37 million. The buyer remains anonymous and the deal was never publicly confirmed by official auction houses, but the story has become the stuff of legend in coin collecting circles. So is this coin really worth that much? The answer is yes, to the right buyer, especially if it's a once-in-a-lifetime specimen. It's the same reason a rare piece of art or a vintage car can sell for tens of millions. Some people are willing to pay any price for a piece of perfection in history. Now let's talk about how you can check your own coin. Start by grabbing a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Look at the date. Is there a small p under the year? That means it was minted in Philadelphia. Now carefully inspect the word Liberty and I in God We Trust on the front. Look for any signs of doubling, then flip the coin over and examine the torch. Look at the horizontal bands. Are they clear, sharp, and unbroken? If so, you might have full bands. If your coin checks all these boxes, you could be holding a rare and valuable Roosevelt dime. Next step is to get it professionally graded. Send it to a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC, who can certify its condition and authenticity. Once you have that certification, you'll have the proof you need to take your coin to auction or private sale and potentially change your life. So let this be a lesson: never underestimate the power of pocket change. That coin you're using to pay for coffee might be worth more than your car, your house, maybe even more than your entire retirement account. The 1995 P. Roosevelt dime is a perfect example of how history, rarity, and a little bit of mystery can combine to create a modern treasure. Keep your eyes open, stay curious, and always check your change. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below if you've ever found a valuable coin, or if you want me to do a video on another rare piece of American money. Until next time. Happy hunting, and may your next coin be worth millions. Let me know if you want a version with timestamps or a shorter version for TikTok or YouTube Shorts. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In today's video, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating pieces of American numismatic history, the 2000 P.D. Roosevelt Liberty coin. This coin has become a collector's item over the years, and its value has skyrocketed. We're not just talking about a few bucks here. This coin can fetch upwards of $35 million in the right market conditions. So, sit back, relax, and let's take a journey into the world of rare coins, their history, and their staggering worth. I'll be breaking down every detail you need to know about this coin, from its creation to its modern-day market value. The D. Roosevelt Liberty coin was originally minted in 2000 as part of the United States Mint's ongoing production of coins that represent the legacy and history of the nation. The coin itself features the iconic portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt's portrait on the dime has been in circulation since 1946, a year after his death, and this 2000 P.D. Roosevelt Liberty coin was part of that tradition, continuing the legacy of Roosevelt on U.S. currency. Franklin D. Roosevelt, as many of you might know, was a pivotal figure in American history. He served as president from 1933 until his death in 1945, and during his time in office, he led the country through some of the most trying times, including the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt's leadership was instrumental in navigating the nation through the storm of economic collapse and global conflict. His famous New Deal programs were designed to pull the country out of the Depression, and his policies still resonate in American politics today. Now, why is this 2000 P.D. Roosevelt Liberty coin so special? While the design of the Roosevelt dime itself has remained relatively unchanged since 1946, the minting of coins, particularly rare coins, has evolved over time, and the 2000 P.D. Roosevelt Liberty coin holds significant interest in the numismatic community for a few reasons. To start, let's talk about the P mint mark on the coin. The P stands for the Philadelphia Mint, where this coin was produced. While coins from the Philadelphia Mint aren't all that rare on their own, certain issues, such as this one, have gained substantial attention in the coin-collecting world. The 2000 P.D. Roosevelt Liberty coin stands out because of the combination of its minting year and some peculiarities in its production that make it a unique specimen. One factor that contributes to the coin's value is its rarity in uncirculated or perfect condition. Like many other coins, the D. Roosevelt Liberty coin wasn't exactly handled with the utmost care when it was released into circulation. Over time, coins that remain in pristine condition or come across as uncirculated, meaning they've never been used in commerce, become incredibly valuable to collectors. The 2000 P.D. Roosevelt Liberty coin is often sought after in mint condition, and the demand for these high-quality specimens continues to drive the price upward. Additionally, there's something that many people don't realize about this coin. It's not just any old dime, it has a fascinating history tied to it, one that speaks to broader economic trends and shifts in the American coinage system. If you think about the time in which this coin was produced, it was at the tail end of the 20th century, a time when the world of currency was slowly shifting toward digital money. This transition to electronic forms of currency, while gradual, began to change the way people interacted with money. And as more and more coins like the 2000 P.D. Roosevelt Liberty coin were produced, it's likely that fewer and fewer survived in pristine condition, leading to scarcity. Now, let's talk about the market value of this coin. The truth is, this coin is so much more than just a dime. Collectors, investors, and numismatists, people who specialize in coins, recognize its historical and aesthetic value. But there's another layer to its worth, especially in the modern-day market. Coins like the 2000 P.D. Roosevelt Liberty coin are sometimes sold at auctions, and depending on the rarity and condition, they can fetch extraordinary sums. Some rare versions of the coin, especially those that are uncirculated or have unique qualities, have been sold for up to $35 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. A dime, worth 10 cents when it was first minted, can, under the right circumstances, be worth tens of millions of dollars. How does this happen? Well, in the world of rare coinage, the value doesn't just come from the face value of the coin. It comes from its history, its rarity, its condition, and the demand from a select group of collectors. It's important to note that not every 2000 PD Roosevelt Liberty coin will fetch that incredible sum of $35 million. Like any rare item, its value depends heavily on its specific characteristics. Coins that are in flawless condition, have rare minting errors, or are otherwise unique in some way tend to drive prices up. Market conditions, too, play a large role in determining a coin's value. Coins can see sudden price spikes when they hit the right collector's hands or when they are featured in high-profile auctions. So, what are the specific characteristics that make some 2000 PD Roosevelt Liberty coins worth so much? One thing to consider is the overall condition of the coin. A coin that is in uncirculated, mint condition is much more likely to fetch a high price than one that has been circulated and shows signs of wear and tear. Collectors pay top dollar for coins that show minimal signs of handling, especially for coins that have been produced in large quantities. Another factor is the rarity of the coin. Coins that have some sort of minting error or misprint are often incredibly valuable because they are so scarce. While these errors are rare, they do occasionally occur during the minting process. If you happen to have a 2000 PD Roosevelt Liberty coin with a rare error, such as a double die or a misaligned strike, you may be in luck. These types of coins can demand a premium price on the market. Collectors of rare coins are often quite discerning, and the value of a coin is determined by the law of supply and demand. If there is a particular coin in demand, such as the 2000 PD Roosevelt Liberty coin, and few specimens are available in excellent condition, the price can go through the roof. In this sense, the market for rare coins can be quite volatile, with prices fluctuating based on a variety of factors, including market trends, investor interest, and the overall state of the economy. Now, let's take a look at the overall market for coins like the 2000 PD Roosevelt Liberty coin. The market for rare coins has grown exponentially over the past few decades, with collectors and investors alike seeking to add valuable pieces to their portfolios. In fact, the entire coin collecting community has seen an influx of new buyers in recent years, especially with the rise of online platforms and auctions that make it easier to buy and sell rare coins. As a result, the value of coins like the 2000 PD Roosevelt Liberty coin has surged, making it one of the most sought-after items in the numismatic world. If you're interested in collecting coins like the 2000 PD Roosevelt Liberty coin, it's important to educate yourself and stay up to date on the latest trends in the market. You'll want to know how to spot rare coins, how to evaluate their condition, and where to find the best deals. There are plenty of resources available for aspiring numismatists, including books, online communities, and reputable coin dealers who can help guide you in your journey. In conclusion, the 2000 PD Roosevelt Liberty coin is a remarkable piece of American history that holds significant value in today's market. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just beginning to learn about rare coins, this coin is a testament to the power of history, rarity, and condition in determining the value of a collectible. So, the next time you come across a 2000 PD Roosevelt Liberty coin, take a closer look. You just might have a hidden treasure in your hands, one that could be worth millions. Thank you so much for watching this deep dive into the history and value of the 2000 PD Roosevelt Liberty coin. I hope you learned something new today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. If you have any rare coins that you think might be worth something, feel free to drop a comment below, and I'd love to discuss them with you. Until next time, happy collecting, and good luck in your search for treasures. Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors, enthusiasts, and all those interested in rare numismatic treasures. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and unique coins in the world of U.S. currency, the 2018 P. Roosevelt Liberty Dime. This is a coin that not only carries historical significance but also has a fascinating backstory and incredible potential value in today's coin market. We're going to explore its history, what makes it special, and why it might just be worth big money, perhaps even millions. So, make sure to stay tuned until the end because you don't want to miss any of the details that could potentially make your coin collection even more valuable. Now, let's start by looking at the history of the Roosevelt dime itself. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, a few years after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Roosevelt was a highly significant figure in American history, serving as the 32nd President of the United States from 1933 until his passing in 1945. He was the only U.S. president to serve 4 terms, and his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II had an enduring impact on the country. So, it's no surprise that after his passing, the U.S. Mint decided to honor him on one of America's most recognizable coins, the dime. The design of the Roosevelt dime was created by famed sculptor John R. Sinek, who was the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time. The obverse of the coin features a portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, and the reverse shows a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, which are symbols of liberty, peace, and strength, respectively. This design has remained virtually unchanged since its introduction in 1946, making the Roosevelt dime one of the longest-running designs in American coinage. Now, let's fast forward to 2018. While the Roosevelt dime itself has been around for decades, it wasn't until 2018 that a particularly rare and valuable version of this coin was released. The 2018 P. Roosevelt dime, which features the P. Mint mark for the Philadelphia Mint, is particularly noteworthy because it was part of a special program aimed at adding mint marks to coins in a more prominent way. Prior to 2018, the P. Mint mark was almost never seen on dimes, which makes the 2018 P. Roosevelt dime an incredibly interesting coin for collectors. But why is this coin so important? One of the main reasons the 2018 P. dime is so valuable to collectors is its relative rarity and historical significance. In 2018, the U.S. Mint struck a limited number of dimes with the P. Mint mark, making these coins not only scarce but also unique in their design. For many years, the Philadelphia Mint had only added mint marks to coins such as pennies and quarters, but with the 2018 P. Roosevelt dime, the Philadelphia Mint made history by adding this mint mark to the dime for the very first time in decades. Collectors and numismatists took notice of this historic move immediately. With a limited mintage and the distinct P. Mint mark, the 2018 P. Roosevelt dime quickly became one of the most sought-after coins in the world of numismatics. In fact, it wasn't long before the coin was being traded on the secondary market for much higher than its original face value. But what makes this coin even more valuable is its condition and any unique variations that might exist. Let's talk about the different factors that influence the value of a coin like the 2018 P. Roosevelt dime. As with most coins, the value of the 2018 P. dime is heavily influenced by its condition, which is measured using a grading scale known as the Sheldon scale. Coins are graded from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. For example, a 2018 P. Roosevelt dime in pristine, uncirculated condition could be worth significantly more than a dime in circulated condition, where wear and tear have diminished its appearance. Another factor that influences the value of this coin is its rarity. While the U.S. Mint did strike a limited number of 2018 P. dimes, some of these coins are harder to find than others. For example, coins with higher mintages that were released to the public tend to be more common, while those that were set aside for collectors or error coins that were struck with flaws can be much rarer and thus more valuable. Speaking of error coins, there are some 2018 P. Roosevelt dimes that are particularly valuable because they feature minting errors. Error coins can occur for a variety of reasons, such as misalignment during the minting process, double strikes, or other defects. Coins with these kinds of errors can be incredibly rare and are often worth far more than their standard counterparts. In the case of the 2018 P. Roosevelt dime, there have been a few reports of coins with errors that have fetched impressive sums on the market. If you happen to have a 2018 P. dime with a unique error, it could be worth far more than you initially thought. Now, let's talk about the potential value of the 2018 P. Roosevelt dime in today's market. As with any collectible item, the value of the 2018 P. dime can fluctuate based on factors such as demand, scarcity, and condition. That being said, some 2018 P. Roosevelt dimes have been known to fetch prices in the hundreds, even thousands of dollars, especially if they are in mint condition or feature rare minting errors. In fact, certain rare versions of the 2018 P dime have sold for upwards of $10,000 in recent auctions. But hold on to your seat, because the market value of the 2018 P Roosevelt dime doesn't stop there. Some experts have even speculated that certain versions of this coin, particularly those with rare errors or those in perfect condition, could be worth as much as $32 million in the future. That's right, $32 million. This might sound like an exaggeration, but in the world of rare coins, it's not entirely out of the question. As we've seen with other high-value coins in the past, market demand can drive prices up to astronomical levels. Coins like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel and the 1933 Double Eagle gold coin have sold for tens of millions of dollars at auction, and the 2018 P Roosevelt dime could follow a similar trajectory if it becomes a highly sought-after item in the future. So, what should you do if you think you might have a valuable 2018 P Roosevelt dime? Well, the first step is to have it professionally graded by a reputable numismatic grading service. These organizations, such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, can assess the condition of your coin and assign it a grade. Once you have a grade, you'll have a better idea of the potential value of your coin. If your dime is in excellent condition, it may be worth a lot more than you originally thought. You should also keep an eye on the coin market. Prices for rare and valuable coins can fluctuate, so it's essential to stay informed about trends in the numismatic community. Auction sites, coin dealers, and online marketplaces can provide valuable insights into the current market value of the 2018 P Roosevelt dime. And if you're lucky enough to have a dime with a rare minting error, you may want to consider selling it at a specialty auction, where collectors and investors are actively seeking rare coins. In conclusion, the 2018 P Roosevelt Liberty dime is not just another ordinary coin, it's a piece of American history with immense potential value. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or someone who's just getting started in the world of numismatics, this coin is worth keeping an eye on. With its historical significance, limited mintage, and potential for future value, the 2018 P Roosevelt dime could be your ticket to owning a piece of numismatic treasure worth millions. So, if you happen to come across one in your collection, or at a coin shop, don't overlook it. It might just be the most valuable dime you've ever seen. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos on rare coins, their history, and their potential value in today's market. Who knows, you might just stumble upon the next big coin to take the world by storm. This is a detailed script for a YouTube video about the 2018 P Roosevelt Liberty dime, covering everything from the history of the coin to its potential future value. I hope this helps. Let me know if you need any changes or additions.